If we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call.
Well, hi there, and welcome back to another episode of the All Around Growth Podcast. My name is Rob Kaiser, and I am your host. Today is Friday, March 18th, 2022. This is episode number 308 of a show that provides insight and tools to build the life and homestead of our dreams. We've got a number of topics that will be linked to in the show notes today under March 18th, 2022, one of which is okra. Okra is traditionally a southern U.S. plant that thrives in warm weather, and there is an article on how to grow okra plants in your own garden. Guys, if you don't think you like okra, I don't believe you have had it prepared properly. Cody grows okra here at York Meadow Farm on the homestead, and it is awesome. I have learned to pair that well with cherry tomatoes and saute that up in some lard or some kind of fat, and it is divine. So we've also got springcasting, when to plant as defined by plants, and that is what we will dive into today as the main topic. But in the show notes as well, you can also find a recipe for corned beef hash and eggs. Corned beef hash with eggs is a country breakfast favorite, but also hearty enough for a dinner meal. If you have enough corned beef leftovers for St. Patrick's Day, here's the perfect dish. And then there's an article on how to appear to know more than you really do. If you're ready for some humor, who isn't? Here are some tips on sounding smarter than you really are and getting yourself out of tricky situations. Impress your friends and family. Check out this article to appear to know more than you really do. And last but not least, there's a little video titled 10 Things We Wish We'd Known Before Starting a Garden. And starting a new vegetable garden from scratch, if that's you, here are 10 things we wish we'd known before we started a vegetable garden. Don't make the same mistakes that we did. All right. So all of this will be linked to in the show notes down at the very bottom, and discussion links titled March 18th. Click there and you will find links to everything here within the Old Farmer's Almanac. And let's get into springcasting, when to plant as defined by plants. Now, don't be tempted to start planting too soon is the title of this article. Again, written by Robin Sweeter. We have referenced several articles by her. I will link to this article directly in the show notes. And these articles are great to read, great to reference on the road because of the way that they are written. Good bullet points and easy to reference. So, you know, it's easy to get tempted to start planting in the springtime. Now, for the last few years, I have been more of the mindset of woody perennials primarily. Herbaceous perennials to a certain extent, but no annuals. They just have not been a part of my life for the last 5 years. No vegetables, no nothing. I don't grow them, I don't do seedlings. You know, we've been blessed with Cody's presence on the homestead at York Meadow Farm. And for those who don't know, this show will be gearing definitely more towards that direction as well, since things are really lifting off on the homestead. We just yesterday passed the ODA inspection in our commercial kitchen. The Ohio Department of Agriculture came over, signed off, no issues, nothing needs to be done. They were very pleased with the work that we did. So all the hard work that we did on the commercial kitchen has paid off. And on top of that, actually, I think that was Wednesday, yesterday, the Medina County Health Department came over to inspect the refrigerator that we use for farmers markets in order to obtain our mobile license, because the sauerkraut, at least in this county in the state of Ohio, requires a commercial refrigeration unit. So we were able to find a small used one and fabricate it, or fabricate some wheels on a platform and be able to roll it around quite easily. So anyways, I actually spoke with Cody this morning and mentioned that I'd like to interview him second for the show, with interviewing my parents first. But let's get back to the plants. Taking soil temperature is a way to gauge when it's safe to plant something, but the author of the article found out from a master gardener that she was doing it wrong. Now, then the article segues into springcasting, and I am very opinionated about master gardeners, and here's the deal, guys. Anybody can go and study a few books and become a master gardener. That's great. That is a good starting point. But like many certifications, I have found that a lot of people who take on an endeavor and seek out certifications, degrees, and pieces of paper or letters that they can put after their name as a badge of honor and as a way to move forward with their life or career, I just think they're doing it wrong. I personally don't give a damn about certifications or degrees. I care about results. And I can speak to this with experience because I used to be in a position where one of the requirements for hiring was having a 4-year degree in forestry, which is the very thing that I did not have myself. So that is my experience telling me and showing me that degrees don't mean shit. So I don't have much faith in master gardeners because I've run across far more arrogant blue hairs than I have people that actually want to, provide good knowledge and counsel because they have good knowledge and counsel based on decades of experience. However, let's look at what springcasting is, because I'm not familiar with this, and we are learning that springcasting is a way to predict and track the progress of spring across the continent. Knowing when different local plants such as dogwood and lilac leaf out and blossom is the natural way to determine when to plant. Okay. There's maps to see if spring, defined by plants, has officially made it to your neck of the woods. Comparing cloned plants. I don't know what this article is. This is a weird article, okay? I don't know what this is. All right, so springcasting. Well, this is going to be kind of a mixed bag series of topics because what we see here in this article is real quick. To forecast spring, the Phenology Network tracks the first leaves and the first blossoms on lilac, dogwood, and honeysuckle plants across the nation. By studying phenomena like the flowering of native plants, we also learn about the emergence of insects and pollinators and the migration of birds and animals. This is a citizen science project that you can take part in. All right, so, this sounds cool to me, right? And if you're interested, check out this article and by all means explore it. But this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Now, with some mention about lilac and dogwood, we might as well talk about transplanting of trees, because that's about where we're at. And we've got a limited window of transplanting woody shrubs and plants, okay? So here's how this works, and I can summarize this in a nutshell, just on the last stretch of the commute. Okay, if you have trees, woody trees and shrubs that you want to transplant, here's how this is going to go. There are several trees that you want to dig first in the spring. Those are flowering trees of the Malus species, Syringa lilac species, Pyrus pears, those flowering trees. Now, syringas don't flower until the summertime, but they leaf out very early. And those are the things that we want to keep in mind when we want to dig trees early in the spring. Things that leaf out early and things that flower early. So if you have those in your gardens, on your homesteads, and you need to move plants around, those are the ones you want to move first, okay? Things like maples, I'm trying to think of plants that might be more relevant on the homestead, but I'm just going to rattle off some plants that we have here on the farm that have a little bit more of a flexible digging window. Things like maples, things like ginkgos, things like evergreens. You can basically dig evergreens until they start to push. And what's nice about evergreens is that oftentimes, especially with spruce species, Picea species, you can summer dig them, which means once the new growth in the spring hardens off, you can transplant trees in the summertime before they start, once they harden off, and then they'll take. So that is something that you can do too. So when you've got, now is the time to take some cuttings as well. This is not something that I have done so much of over the past few years, but I believe now is a good time to take elderberry cuttings. And quite frankly, I really enjoy talking about this kind of stuff because this is what I used to do, what I was passionate about, but I lacked the balance in my life at that time to execute all of this in my life in a sane and appropriate way. So we're going to see how everything goes in the future, but hopefully just this little bit about transplanting was of value to you. If you want to learn more, you are welcome to email me at allaroundgrowth@gmail.com. But what would be preferable is to have you engage in the chat with us at t.me/allaroundgrowth. Just type that into your internet browser. Yikes, that is my mud flap. And Yeah, type that into your internet browser. Join us in the chat. We'd love to hear from you there. t.me/allaroundgrowth. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. I look forward to catching up with you again Monday, and I hope you have a great weekend. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.
In a world of pain, what can I do? The needs are many, and answers are few. People turn away, and I wonder why. If I can help somebody, then I want to try. People may think that it's odd that I believe in friendship and love. And truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. If we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call. You know the times are wasting every day, and we can help somebody along the way. People may think that it's odd that I believe in friendship and love. Truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. You're an odd